Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D, and it's the 1958 United States nickel, the Jefferson 5-cent coin. And we have three of them here. These two down here face up, and this one up here on the reverse or back. And the reason we have this one up here is because that's where the mint mark's going to be, on the back of the 1958 nickel. And also we can tell you what else is not going to be on the back almost ever, and that's any steps here. It's almost impossible to get steps on a used 1958 nickel, and additionally it's almost impossible to get steps on a unused 1958 nickel. They're very, very rare. So let's take a look at them. In 1958 they made it at two different mints. They made it at the Philadelphia Mint, which will have no mint mark here, and they made it at the Denver Mint, which will have that D on the back. At the Philadelphia Mint, they made 17 million nickels. There's 75% copper, 25% nickel blend, and they all have a smooth edge on them. For the Philadelphia nickel, the auction record is $588 for no full steps. And of course, when we look at this one, we'll see, even though it's in great shape on the front, there aren't any full steps on the back. In fact, you have to have all five of the steps, and they have to go all the way across. This one almost has one that goes across. You can see no mint mark over here means it's Philadelphia. It says E Pluribus Unum at the top, United States of America here, Monticello across underneath Thomas Jefferson's home, and then 5 cents down here. At a mint state 65 is not hugely valuable. At a mint state 66 plus, without the full steps, that's where you get into maybe the $400 to $500 range. Now, if you could get this with the full steps, it would be incredibly valuable. PCGS has graded two mint state 66 pluses, and they list them at $13,500. But even if you can get down to a mint state 65 with the full steps, you're still talking about $400 to $500. At the Denver Mint, they also have full steps and non-full steps versions. The non-full steps version could be worth as much as $2,200 at a mint state 67 plus. They've only found one of those graded by PCGS so far. At a mint state 65 though, with no full steps, you're down to about $15. If you do have the full steps, that's when you're starting to talk some real money. A mint state 68 with the full steps goes for over $5,000. Let's take a look at that. Mint state 68 with the full steps. One of the things you want to do if you see a huge auction price for a 1950s nickel is see if you can look at the nickel and see if there's anything different about it. And this one is different. Look at the incredible toning here in the coloring there, the rainbow toning as many collectors call it. This is the mint state 68 full steps. You see a mint state 67 full steps down here went for $6,325. If it looked like this, you could see why. Because a mint state 67 for PCGS lists at about $750. So this mint state 68 is so special that PCGS does not even have a dollar value on it. So when we scroll down and look at the mint state 68, you see right here, they don't have a dollar value on it. So we assume that it's probably going to be worth more than the auction record for the mint state 67 here, since we have pluses and everything. We assume it's going to be more than a 67 plus, which is about $2,500, but we don't know how much it's going to be. If you ever do see one with coloring on it like this, keep it. And if you see one with coloring on it like this that has the full steps, you are in the money. Getting back to our coins, a mint state 65 with the full steps, worth about $30. If you have a 1958 from the Denver Mint, always check it, but don't just check it by eye. You see this one, looks like a regular D, but when we look up here, we see it's a D inverted D over S. So there's an upside down D on there that's underneath. And by eye, you can't see that. Even when we magnify it like this, you can't see it very well. You're going to have to get it under very good magnification, and then you'll see something that looks like this. And underneath there, you can see a little bit to the left side. You can see a little bit of stuff in the middle. Let's look at some of these other ones here. So if we look at this one and blow this one up, This is also a D over D, and it's incredibly hard to see that. And so what you're looking for in this one is this little line over here, and there's a little bit in the middle. So what you want to do is you get a regular D, and then you compare it to the D that looks a little strange to you. And with the naked eye, you are not going to be able to see that. And we'll look at one more that they have here. And this one's probably the best of the bunch in terms of the photograph gets you that little side. So you see underneath there's a little line, and on the side there's a little line, and in the center there's a little bit if you get the angle just right. So D over D or double punch mint marks or repunch mint marks are very hard to see with the naked eye. If you have a good condition 1958 Denver Mint coin, always magnify it. Let's take a look at RDs just to see if we can find any double strike or repunch mint mark on there. And this one pretty clearly isn't. This one, ooh, hard telling. The problem with this is that it's so messy that you couldn't really tell if it was a repunch mint mark, but it sure looks like it has a little bit of a line to the left and a little bit underneath. If this is a repunch mint mark, not going to be hugely valuable, but that we kept it just in case because it does look a little bit like one. Again, maybe $5 or under for the value on this. They also made proof versions of these coins, and the proof coins in 1958 were made at the Philadelphia Mint. So a proof coin will have no mint mark on the back. There are some incredibly valuable proof coins. If you can get a deep cameo proof, you can be talking over $10,000. PCGS, the highest graded one that they've graded so far is a proof 69, and they list that at $10,500, and they've only found one. At a proof 65 for the 1958, you're talking about $300. Now they made 875,000 of those sets, so there's still quite a few of them out there. And lastly, there is one other thing that you can get in 1958, and that is the mint set. And the mint sets were double mint sets from 1947 to 1958, and we'll show you what those double mint sets look like. The double mint sets were issued with two of each coin, and for all the coins except for the half, which are face up, both face up, they would have one up, one down. One up, one down, one up, one down, one up, one down. So you could see both the front and the back of the coin, and you could see the mint mark on all of them. And so for the Franklin half, you couldn't do that, but for every other one you can. And so that's the reason that they did two of each, was so you could have one up and one down. If you want to buy one of those double mint sets, you're talking about $300 plus currently on eBay or online. All right, well, that's all we have today from Big D Coins. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.